well, a legend in my eyes. Mr. Tomlinson, how are you?
My name is Ricky. My name is Ricky, son.
I could call you Ricky. Ricky Tomlinson, how are you, sir?
I'm on top of the world, thank you.
I've heard you're a big boxing fan. I mean, there's a reason you're here today. Just talk to me, dive straight in about your history and what got you into boxing.
Well, I tried to box when I was at college. And when they found out I was asthmatic, they stopped me. I only had a couple of fights. But I loved it. I've always been interested in the sport. And the city's built on boxers. You go right back, you know, it's always had someone there in the limelight who was a good boxer. And I think it's a great sport. I love the sport. I followed David Price's career for quite a while. I thought David was going to go right to the top. And unfortunately things happened and it didn't quite work out that way. But I've just done a movie last year called The Gloves Are Off, all about boxing. And I went up to Ricky Hatton's gym, met Ricky, met Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury, Scott Quigg and all them, and had a great time. And what impresses me about them lads is them boxers, they're so gentle, they're so accessible, there's no side to them, they don't take offence. I just think they're amazing. And as I say, for me, anyone who can walk to a crowd of people, walk up a few steps and get into the ring has got a big heart. That takes some doing, I'm telling you. How many people have got the courage to do that? I don't know.
Is there something about the sport of boxing as well that when you look behind the fighter in the ring, there's always a story there, especially if you look at fighters, like you said, there's always been sort of a showcase fighter in Liverpool, but if you look behind the man in the ring, there's always a story there as well.
You know, most of them, I think, have got someone in the distant past, a distant relative that's done a little bit of boxing. And yet some of them come from deprived areas where they've had to fight. They've had to fight to sort of live. You know, even whether it's being like bullied at school and stuff like that. But what I am delighted about in Liverpool is there's loads of boxing clubs, decent boxing clubs, where the people who run it are unsung heroes, because they don't get any money, they don't get any pay. They have to fight literally to get funding to keep these gymnasiums and these boxing clubs open. And that's wrong. They should be well supported. They should get some sort of grant, because they're getting kids off the street, they're keeping them away from drugs, they're teaching them a sport. And if they never box in their life, at least they learn how to defend themselves. And that is so important.
Well said, and that is a message that should be echoed by everyone, especially in cities where, like you said, people sometimes do come from deprived backgrounds. Rick, I'm going to move swiftly on to Anthony Fowler and Liam Smith, a battle of the cities. Now, you all know about the two sides and the little bit of rivalry there. Is this a tasty one?
I'm not going to make any predictions because I love them both. I love them both. And I'm a jinx. If I picked one, it would be doomsday for them, so no. And you know what? I will be as nervous as them two when they get in the ring. I will be as nervous as them two. I mean it. But I know Paul Smith rather well, and we used to have a club around the corner called the Green Room, and Paul often came in. He'd sit there quietly having half a lager or whatever it was. No trouble. If people wanted an autograph or the photograph, it was no problem. They're nice people who just chose boxing to make their living.
Well, I'm glad you're not going to pick anyone, because if you said if you're the jinx, then is that what you are? If you pick someone, then sort of you fear for them on fight night. Is that how it works?
It is. I am a jinx, yeah. I'm a jinx, and so I don't pick anyone. I don't pick sides. I mean, I've learned to do this about watching Liverpool Football Club. You know, my nerves are shattered even when they're winning. My nerves are shattered, so you know.
I was going to say, you must have had quite a nerve-free couple of years with Liverpool then.
Not until the title's there or the league's been won. No.
Well, hopefully it's coming to West London this year, but we'll leave that bit for now. The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Are we finally going to see the end of this 3-year saga where there's been ups, downs, left, rights? Talk to me, because yeah, it's a mega night we're going to get on Saturday from Vegas, but it seems like it's just been a long haul between them two now.
I feel sorry for Tyson, because you know he's been kept dangling there. He's done the business, hasn't he? He's done the business. I think he'll do the business again. And I sincerely hope it. The other fella made excuses about the costume he wore coming into the ring was too heavy and it sapped his strength. What a load of nonsense. But I've just done a movie last year called The Gloves Are Off, about boxing, about gypsy boxing. And I had the privilege and pleasure of going to Ricky Hatton's gym and seeing Ricky Hatton, obviously, Tyson Fury, Hughie Fury, Scott Quigg, all them people. And they're absolute gentlemen. They're absolute gentlemen. And, you know, The movie was great. It was a real good movie, all about boxing. And as I say, because I met Tyson Fury, I was so impressed by him. I've written a rap for him. I've written a rap song for him.
Can we hear some?
I'm going to hope to get it out there a couple of days before he goes in the ring. It's just called Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. That's all. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King.
If someone would have told me one of the strings you have to your bow, it would not have been rapping. I'm going to be completely honest here with you, Ricky.
I'm not a rapper. I'm not even a scrapper. But I'll be having a go. I'll have the bandana on and I'll have the chain round my neck and and do the business in there. I'm sure Tyson will like it.
Well, I'll take your team Gypsy King then. But just quickly, I want to go back to the Saturday before last, and Anthony Joshua against Alexander Usyk. From a British standpoint, obviously a disappointing result, but I mean, you'd have seen so many fantastic boxers over the years. Just how good is Alexander Usyk?
Wonderful. Have you ever seen the videos of him training and what he does, where he goes? But I didn't think it'd go the distance. I thought if it goes the distance, I thought Anthony would have won it. And obviously, we're all British and you're rooting for him, But there again, there's me, you see, bloody jinx on him. But I thought Alexander Usyk, I thought if he was going to win it, to be by a knockout. And yet Joshua kept well away from that. But at the end of the fight, I don't know whether you noticed, I did. I mean, Usyk was well marked about the face. Anthony landed some real good stuff. And I think genuinely the return will be quite different. I think Anthony Joshua will fight a different fight in the return match.
Fingers crossed, because what we want at the end of it is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. That is what we want.
I don't care. As long as it's not Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury against Jim Royle, I don't care.